Welcome to your mat. My name's Bailey, and I'm going to be guiding you through a 60-minute power vinyasa flow class. For class today, you're going to need a couple of things. I recommend a block for practice today. One is enough. And as you can see, I am in the sun, so it's going to be warm for me, but the sequence we're moving through is definitely going to build up some internal heat, so I recommend having a water bottle nearby, maybe a towel, because we're going to be getting a little sweaty. So go ahead and take a moment to gather yourself, drop into your space. If we're practicing at home or maybe we're practicing in a public space, there might be distractions, so do whatever you need to do to set yourself up best for class today. When you're ready, we're going to go ahead and get started on our back. You can start in this corpse pose, this Shavasana. Hands facing up to call in energy, maybe new energy, or maybe we had a really chaotic day, maybe we're feeling a little jittery. For that, I invite you to turn your palms downward and have sort of a grounding feeling. And we're going to remain in this pose for some few deep breaths. If it feels accessible and welcoming to you, I suggest you flutter your eyes shut. Start tuning into the breath. And I'm going to guide us through some breath work while you remain on your backs. So take a couple more breaths at your natural pace. Not changing anything yet. And what we're going to move into is known as box breathing. So essentially with box breathing, this is an anti-anxiety pranayama, with the goal being that we envision a box with our inhales, holds, and exhales. So what we're going to do is inhale for a count of 4. I will ding the sound bowl. You'll hold that inhale for a count of 4. And then when it's time to exhale, exhale for a count of 4. Hold for a count of 4. Now I'm going to guide you through this. It's okay if you get a little off track. What's really important here is that we're starting to pay attention to our breath and our body. Okay? So go ahead, no matter where you're at, go ahead and exhale all of what you're holding out, and we will begin. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold the exhale. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. Hold. Let's go ahead and remain in this space. Go ahead and return back to your regular breath. Just feel if that felt any particular way for you. And when you're ready, start to point and flex the toes. And maybe we're bringing the arms up overhead and back down. Just kind of some small movements as we get into this warm-up. to begin, going to inhale, lift the right knee up to about a 90-degree angle. And then we'll plant the left foot on the mat. You'll then turn your leg to get into this supine figure 4. This might be enough of a stretch for that right hip, right hamstring, but if you'd like a little bit more, go ahead and use your body weight only, pick up that left foot, and start to move around a little bit and feel that stretch in that right side hamstring. I invite you to begin your Ujjayi breath if that's in your practice. And if you would like it to be in your practice, I'll guide you through what it's like. We will have inhales and exhales through the nose, and you're going to constrict the back of your throat so that it's making a sort of ocean noise as you exhale. It's that sort of whooshing sound on the way out. And this helps us build up internal heat. Let's go ahead and exhale, plant the feet down if it's up, and extend that right leg back out long. Extend the left leg back out long. Inhale, raise the left leg. Exhale, plant that right foot. And go ahead and turn that left knee out so that you're in that figure 4, supine figure 4. We're making the number 4 with our legs. We're in upside down figure 4 right now, being on our back, but go ahead and, peek up at your legs. See what it looks like. If you'd like to go a little bit deeper, you can pick up that right foot. And I invite you to notice if there's a difference in the two sides. And I also invite you to have some compassion with yourself and know that two sides can be completely different. Just because you did something on one side of your body does not mean you need to continue it to the next. Just trust that you are aware of what's best for you and your body. Go ahead and exhale, plant the legs down. We're going to curl up into a ball pose and start to rock and roll up the length of your spine. Cross at the ankles, plant the hands, step back into a tabletop position. Shoulders over your wrists, knees under your hips, trying to make 90-degree angles. Go ahead and pitter-patter your feet. Get some blood flowing into the tops of your toes. And go ahead and take any movements here that feel good to you, any organic movement. Doesn't matter what it looks like, as long as it feels good. It could be hip circles, small ones or big ones. I just ask that whatever you do, make sure you go in both directions. You can extend your back legs, working into those calf muscles. Make sure there's a micro bend in your elbows, not to lock them out. And we'll go ahead and find stillness in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and tuck the back toes. Inhale, lift your knees off the mat to this bear pose. We want our head in a neutral position, peeking out toward the top edge of your mat. Micro bend in your elbows, engaging the core. Belly buttons drawing back to the side. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. This is the first one of class today. Maybe it's the first downward facing dog of your day. So go ahead and take the dog for a walk. Picking up the heels. Pushing the armpits open. We want to have 2 long lines of energy. So from the base of the spine down to the palms, fingers spread out wide. Second line of energy being from the tip of the tailbone down to the back of the heels. Don't worry about making sure that your heels are on the floor. You can be lifted and your legs can be slightly bent. What's most important are these 2 long lines of energy. Okay, we will start to move into our Sun A sequence.
Inhale, lift up on the tippy toe, gaze toward the top edge of the mat. Exhale, travel to your Uttanasana, forward fold. This is our first one, so we'll invite a generous bend into the knees. Maybe we're going for ragdoll pose, grabbing opposite elbows. Sway side to side. Bend one leg, bend the next. Exhale, plant the hands on the mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Flat back, hands plant on shins or thighs, acting like we're peering out over the edge of a cliff. Weight shifts into almost like the balls of the feet. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, extended Tadasana. Arms reach up overhead, pinkies twisting toward midline. Shoulders drop down away from your ears, gaze straight ahead. Exhale, draw your hands through prayer center. You can remain here with your hands at prayer center if that feels welcoming to you. If it's not in your practice, go ahead and drop your hands by your side to Samastitihi, standing at attention. I invite you to flutter your eyes shut. This is where we'll set an intention for today's class. And if you didn't come with one, that's okay. I'll invite you mine. My intention for practice today is self-love and self-compassion. And what I mean by that is playing, dancing along that growing edge, paying attention to the things that might bring up competitive thoughts or thoughts of go harder, do more. And I invite you and myself to catch those thoughts and let them go, and instead replace them with I'm exactly fine right here. I love what I'm doing right now. We'll go ahead and inhale. Sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale to draw that intention in, seal it. Flutter the eyes open, drop your hands down, and let's flow. Let's have a great practice. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, flat back. Exhale, hands plant, step back, high plank, Kumbhakasana. Inhale, shift the weight forward. For this first one, dropping our knees. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, 90-degree bend in the elbows. And shine the heart through to our upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing Adho Mukha. We'll flow through that a couple more times. Inhale, lift up, tiptoes. Exhale, travel to the top of the mat, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead, extended Tadasana. Listen for the change. Right hand grabs left wrist, left foot steps behind right foot. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale, back to center. Switch the grip, exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, baby back bend. Inhale, extended Tadasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back. Kumbhakasana, high plank. We'll move through Chaturanga Dandasana. Again, invitation to take it from the knees, or this time, if you're feeling ready, we'll take it from our hands and feet, from the high plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take 2 rounds of lion's breath in this downward facing dog. So what that means is on the exhale, we're sticking our tongue out and we're trying to roll our eyes back. So it's this big release. So inhale. again. Inhale. Here we go. Listen for the change. Inhale, gaze to the top of the mat and travel up. Inhale, halfway lift. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead, extended Tadasana. Exhale, through center. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead, grab left wrist, left foot, steps behind right foot, side bend to the right. Inhale, back through center, switch the grip, right foot comes behind left. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, back through center, baby back bend. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Trying to lift up all 10 toes. Arms can be reaching up, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. If this is too intense, drop the hands down to prayer center. We'll hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, extended Tadasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, Kumbhakasana. Move through your Vinyasa, Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog. Trying to lift the hips and the thighs off the mat. Exhale, downward facing. We'll take a couple deep breaths in our downward facing as we prepare to move into our sun beat, our flow. Ensure that your block is somewhere nearby, probably toward the top of the mat. Inhale, three-legged dog on the right. Lift the right leg high. We want our hips pointing down toward the mat. So we don't want to be opening. We want to be squared off as best we can. Inhale, draw the right leg through center. Exhale, plant it down. Inhale to lift to Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. Arms sweep up overhead. Again, dropping those shoulders away from the ears. Check in with your breath. Open up to Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Generous bend in the front knee. Back foot is parallel to the back of your mat. If you have a mirror in front of you, give yourself a smile. And check if you can see your back hand in the mirror. If so, make a minor adjustment to move it back, tracking in line. Inhale. Exhale to extended side angle, grabbing your block. Hand plants on the block. Left arm's reaching high. We can gaze down at our right foot for grounding and balance, or if we want to balance challenge, look up towards your left hand. Inhale, controlled lift with your block. Straighten the front leg. Exhale, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Take your block behind. Again, gaze can be down at the foot for balance, or gaze can be up towards your top left hand for a little more challenge. If you'd like to go deeper into the stretch, pop your block down onto a lower level. Inhale, exhale, pivot the back toes under, drop your arms down, move the block out of the way, rise to crescent. Inhale, exhale, sweep the arms back, straight and powering forward for strong, long line of energy. Come to a stiletto on the back heel, travel to a one-legged mountain pose. Left leg comes up. We're going to drop into a standing figure 4, very similar to our warm-up. So we're crossing that left ankle on top of right knee, right thigh, and dropping into a standing figure 4. So squatting into that right leg, hands at heart center. Find your drishti. This is a point of attention, a point of focus, a non-moving point for you to draw your gaze. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, back to one-legged mountain. Exhale, slowly plant back down to crescent lunge. Exhale, your hands plant and flow through your vinyasa. Upward facing, Adho Mukha, downward facing dog. Okay, now we'll move through that left side. Inhale, left leg sweeps up. Exhale, draw through center. Plant. Inhale, crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. Inhale. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. We want to keep our arms extending out. This is not a relaxed pose for the upper body. Our arms should be reaching equally forward and backward. So we don't want to be tilted toward the front. We want to be perfectly in balance here. Energy extending out through the fingertips. Inhale. Exhale to extended side angle, grab the block. Right arm sweeps up overhead. Gaze goes up or down. And if you'd like to take a bind, you can take that right arm and put it onto the lower back. With the block in hand, inhale, using that core to stand up tall. Straightening the front leg, we move into Trikonasana. This is a slow and controlled movement as we shift the hips back, extend until we meet the ground. If we need the ground to be closer, we go up onto our higher block setting. We can look down for grounding or up for balance, or if you want a little bit more, taking that bind, hand plants at the base of the spine. Exhale, cartwheel the arms forward, pivot that back toe, move the block out of the way. We're into this runner's lunge. Exhale, inhale, arms sweep up overhead, crescent lunge. Exhale, bow forward, extend the arms back, stiletto onto that back toe. Inhale, one-legged mountain on the left foot as your base, right foot is up. Crossing that leg, so right ankle's above right knee. Exhale to our standing figure 4. Hands at prayer center. Trying to deepen that bend in our left leg. Starting to feel maybe a little wobbly here. If you fall out, that's okay. Come right back in. And remember, we're looking for that drishti. 3, 2, inhale, exhale, float the leg back, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank, Kumbhakasana. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, Chaturanga Dhammasana. Find your way to your downward facing dog. That is our Sun B. We'll flow through it one more time, breath to movement, before we get into our peak pose for today's class. Okay, meeting and downward facing. Inhale, gaze straight ahead, travel to the top of the mat, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead, grab left wrist, left foot steps behind right side, bend to the right. Inhale, back through center, switch the grip, right ankle, right foot goes behind left ankle, dropping to the left side. Inhale, back through center, exhale, back bend. Inhale, reach back up, extended Tadasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Utkatasana. Lifting all 10 toes. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold, step back, high plank, Kumbhakasana. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, downward facing dog. And here we go, let's flow. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, plant. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, grab the block, extended side angle. Inhale, extend up. Exhale, hips pop back, Trikonasana. Gaze goes up or down at your block. Drop the block, pivot your heel, shift toward the front of your mat. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, airplane arms, stiletto the back heel. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana. Exhale, figure 4. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Exhale, float it back, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, move through your vinyasa. One more side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step and plant. Inhale, crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale to reach forward. Exhale, grab the block, extended side angle. Inhale, come up. Exhale, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Exhale, drop the palms, pivot on back toes. Inhale, crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, airplane arms. Inhale, one-legged mountain, right leg lifts. Exhale, figure 4, drop it low. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Exhale, float it back. Plant the hands, move through your vinyasa. Whew. Take 3 deep cleansing breaths on your own once you've found your way to your downward facing dog. Go ahead and take a moment to towel off, grab a little bit of water, and meet in a Balasana to cue to me that it's time to move on. Balasana is child's pose, so big toes to touch, knees spread wide, arms reach overhead, third eye pressing into the mat. As we get ready to move through one more little bit of flow, we'll be moving to our peak pose and then cooling it down. When you're ready, go ahead and find your way to a downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, tiptoe, travel to the top of the mat. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, arms sweep back. Maybe moving onto the tiptoes for a drinking bird. Gaze is straight ahead just above the top of your mat. Exhale, plant your heels, arms sweep back up. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Uttanasana, Ardha Uttanasana, Exhale, forward fold, plant the hands, step back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, the right leg high, downward 3-legged dog. Exhale, plant the foot, crescent lunge. And we're going to inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, airplane arms, stiletto the back heel. Inhale, power forward to that one-legged mountain. I'm gonna readjust so that you can see me better. We've been here before, so we're gonna travel back into that standing figure 4. Listen for the change. We're inviting our peak posture today, which is Ekapada Galavasana, which is a flying pigeon pose. We have a variety of options here. So level 1, exactly where we are. This is a great posture, hard work. I'm sweating here. If you'd like to move into level 2, you start to shift lower and plant your hands. This is level 2. Level 3, Chaturanga arm. Start to build a shelf for your left shin, left ankle, that left leg. Building a shelf. I forgot what level we're at. I think this is level 3. Level 4 is starting to shift the weight forward. Gaze is peeking out ahead, not down. If we look down, we want to fall down. Look where you're wanting to go. From here, we can start to pick up the back toes. Eventually, the peak posture being this with an extended leg. So go ahead and take a couple minutes to play here. And whenever you've had enough, just go ahead and meet me back in a downward facing dog. If you fall out and you want to keep going, that's fine. Go ahead and get yourself back in. And this is a good time to remind yourself of that intention for today. So remember, we're going for some internal self-love. Have a sense of humor if you're falling out. Maybe you're too sweaty for your leg to stick. That's often my issue. Okay, we'll go ahead and find our way back to downward facing. We've got one more side to do. Inhale, left leg sweeps up, 3-legged dog. Exhale, Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, airplane arms, stiletto the back heel. Power forward to that one-legged mountain. And we're going to move through the same posture on the second side. So move, exhale into your standing figure 4. Again, level 1, great place to be. Level 2, planting the hands for that deep squat. Level 3, Chaturanga arms, start to build the shelf. Level 4, baby kicks, or we start just leaning forward a little bit more. Level 5, we fly. And level 6, leg goes straight. And a reminder of what I said of sides not always being the same. This side is completely different for me. I'm going to remain here. Check in with your breath. Deep inhales and even longer exhales. And when you've had enough, go ahead and meet back in Balasana, child pose. Big toes to touch, arms extending out. Third eye, massaging on the ground. And you can rock your head side to side, massaging that third eye. Go ahead and inhale your way up and find your way into a seat. We're going to move through a couple of core strengthening exercises before we end on our backs for the rest of class. We need our block somewhere nearby. We'll need it in these coming postures, but not for the first one. So our first core pose is going to be a boat pose. And we have a variety of options in boat pose, all very good options for engaging the core. So we're all going to start at level 1. Take your hands behind the thighs.
with a light grip. Make sure your chest is puffed up. We want that collarbone stretched out wide, chin up, gaze straight ahead. Our back is flat. We're going to start to lean back until we feel our core turn on, drawing the belly button toward the spine. We can stay here. This can be a great place to stay to engage the core. If you want to go a little bit further, remove the hands. Palms face up. If you want a little bit more, start to tip off of your feet. And if you'd like to go even further, extend those legs out straight. We're gonna hold here for 8, 7, 6. Go ahead and smile. 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and drop to your back. Hug the knees into your chest. Rock side to side. And we just have 2 more core exercises. So go ahead and find that block and plant your feet on the mat with your knees bent. And then lift them up to this 90-degree sort of like tabletop position, but on our back. So we want our legs in this 90-degree angle. You're gonna take your block and plant it on your right thigh. Then you're gonna take your right arm and take your forearm and push it into the block. Left hand can be reaching by your side. Extend the left leg long. You want to push really hard equally between your forearm and your leg. You're pushing into that block. This is a tight squeeze. You should feel your core engaging. Ensure that your lower back is pushing into the mat. And we hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and release. Last one. It's just the other side, and you're on your back for the rest of class. Go ahead and make that tabletop position again. Put the block into the left thigh, left forearm pushes in, and this is a very engaged pose. We're pushing in as hard as we can with our forearm, as hard as we can back with our leg. Extend the right leg out, right arm goes out. Core is on for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and let that go. Get out of there. You can plant the heels and windshield wiper the knees back and forth. All right. And we are cooling down. Go ahead and pick the feet up and plant your feet as if you're planting them on the ceiling. We're going to draw the knees in toward our armpits as we get into a happy baby pose. If you can reach the bottoms of your feet, go ahead and try to help your knees down toward the armpit. But again, we're just dancing along that growing edge. That growing edge is discomfort. It is never pain. So if you're feeling legitimate pain, back off. If this feels good, go ahead and sway side to side. Maybe we're doing some ninja baby where we're kicking the leg out straight, alternating sides. You can make any sort of animal noises here to release. My personal favorite is horse lips. Letting that heat go, everything you've built over the last hour. And go ahead and come back into a ball pose. Plant the heels. Pick the right foot up. Plant your right ankle just below left knee. And now that we're really warm, we might go a little bit further. So this is exactly how we started class. If you want to stay here in this sort of like restorative, relaxing position, stay here. If you want to go deeper, this time we're going to put our hands through to grab the back of left thigh.
And we'll start to pull so that we're feeling a deeper stretch in the right hip and hamstring. If you want to go even deeper, you can straighten left leg, but again, we're not looking for pain. Go ahead and exhale, the feet plant back down. Inhale, left leg comes up, plant left ankle just below or just above right knee. Same thing, and again, not forcing yourself to do the exact same thing on both sides. If it's not serving you, pay attention to what your body needs. Go ahead and plant the heels down and drop your hands by your side. We'll go into a supported bridge pose, so go ahead and grab your block and inhale to lift and plant your block just at the base of the spine, just above the tailbone. Holding here. Letting go of that Ujjayi breath, if that's where we're at right now. We'll start to return to an inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Inhale, and go ahead and exhale, slide the block out from under you, vertebrae by vertebrae, back onto our backs. We'll now go into a supine twist. So let's go ahead and lift that right leg up again, planting your right ankle above left knee, and we're going to drop our knees, well, we'll tee out our arms, and we're going to guide those knees over to right side body. So that right ankle's kind of pulling left knee down, but again, we're only letting gravity do the work here. We're not pushing this. It's just a gentle supine twist with a little bit of a side hip stretch. You can close your eyes, or if you're in nature like me, you can look up at the leaves shimmering in the sun. Inhale, draw the legs back up. Exhale, plant right foot down. Inhale, switch it out. Left foot plants just above right knee. Exhale, legs drop to left side. Maybe your gaze travels to the right side for a deeper twist. Inhale, back up. Exhale, plant the heels. If you'd like to take any other postures for your practice today, I invite you to do so. Remember, this practice is yours and yours only. I'm just a guide. And let's inhale up to ball pose, scrunching everything in. If you can, grab for your shins or maybe the bottoms of your heels, scrunching everything in, scrunching up the face, holding the breath. Exhale to Shavasana, corpse pose, palms facing up, or again, palms facing down, eyes flutter shut. Trust that I will guide you out when it is time. And know that meditation does not mean
making your thoughts stop. We cannot make our thoughts stop. But what we can do is be the witness. Notice the thoughts as they arise and watch them go by. You will hear a bell when Shavasana has ended. To remain here, please feel free to do so. If you're feeling ready to move on, go ahead and start to invite some gentle movements, maybe opening and closing of the hands, pointing and flexing of the toes, shaking the head side to side, maybe a good morning stretch, arms sweeping up overhead. Go ahead and roll onto your favorite side into a fetal pose, head resting on your bicep. This fetal pose is particularly significant following a pose like corpse pose, Shavasana, as it signifies a rebirth. So maybe take a moment to think about how you feel changed from today's practice. Maybe it has something to do with your intention, or maybe not. Maybe you learned something new about yourself, about your practice. And when you're ready, go ahead and use that top arm to push yourself up. Keep a soft gaze or keep your eyes closed, making your way to Sukhasana, easy seat. Extending your palms out, so we've got a long line of energy with both hands, backs of the wrist, or really tops of the wrist, pushing into those knees. Spreading across the collarbone. This is like excellent posture. Again, eyes are shut. Chin can be tilted slightly down. We're going to inhale for 5 and try exhaling for 10. When we have exhales that are significantly longer than the inhale, we're activating our parasympathetic nervous system, our rest and digest. And we'll do this on our own time, so go ahead with your inhales. Do that twice more. Inhale. Final round. Inhale. Go ahead and bring your hands to heart center. Pushing your thumbs together and then pressing your thumbs into your heart space, connecting with yourself, connecting with your heart. Maybe calling in some gratitude for yourself, for taking time for yourself, for making your way to your mat. And then bringing the palms up to your third eye, connecting with your intuition. Oftentimes this practice helps us have these downloads, these realizations about ourselves or about our lives. Maybe connect with that. And if that doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. And we'll go ahead and inhale here together. Exhale to seal it in. Bow forward. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed this class. And again, my name is Bailey, so feel free to connect with me in any way, and I hope to see you back here soon. Thanks.